Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about the 10 pregnancy and childbirth myths that I believed before my degree. Disclaimer, I'm still a student, so please don't take what I say as Bible. Do your own research, talk to your doctors, before you just take my word for the things that I say. Number one is eating for two. Now, obviously, you would just automatically think that when you're pregnant and you're growing another human in your body, that you need to eat for you and that baby. Absolutely not true. And when I learned about this, I was very, very surprised. Pregnancy only requires you to eat about 200 more calories a day. You don't need to be eating 2 meals at a time for 2 people. It's just ridiculous. And actually, eating more than you're supposed to can actually put you at risk for gestational diabetes, which is diabetes that happens to pregnant women. So yeah, you don't have to eat for 2. Number 2 is sex during pregnancy. Now I know this is kind of a taboo kind of subject. I thought that it was dangerous to have sex during pregnancy. It's dangerous for the baby. I've heard some myths, not that I believed, but some people thought that, they could reach the baby, poke the baby's head. It all sounds very ridiculous. I've come to know that that is literally not true. No matter how well endowed somebody is, as my lecturer put it, not my words, you could never reach that baby. It's just impossible. It's literally impossible. There's so many layers of the female anatomy that you'd have to get through to reach the baby. So sex during pregnancy is fine. It's actually encouraged because it releases those good hormones and it reduces stress and everything. So yeah, get at it. Number 3 is exercise. So I thought that exercise during pregnancy was quite dangerous. Well, certain exercises like going to the gym, lifting weights and stuff, I genuinely thought that was dangerous. But the advice out there is to make sure that you are not doing anything that you weren't doing before you were pregnant. So if you weren't going to the gym, you weren't lifting weights before pregnancy, just don't even try and start lifting weights. It doesn't make sense. Your body did not get used to that before pregnancy. It's not going to adapt to it well when your body is literally going through a massive change. If you were going to the gym before pregnant, then you can carry on, obviously within reason, not too heavy, not too strenuous. I think they say that you should be able to hold a conversation while exercising. So if you're not able to talk, then you're probably doing too much. But yeah, exercise during pregnancy is good. Number 4, I thought, obviously you see on the TV shows, the movies, that when your waters break, it's so dramatic and then the baby just comes out. That is not true. And I got the shock of my life when I went to placement. So when your waters break, it's not as dramatic as people think. It's not like a gush. It can be a gush depending on how much waters you have, but it's not like, oh my god, the baby's coming. No, labor can take hours. I think your first pregnancy or your first labor can be like 12 to 24 hours. So after your water breaks, it is not an indication that baby is coming. You still have so many stages to get through, and you're not even in what we call active labor when your waters break, because you need to be at least 4 centimeters dilated to be in active labor. So yeah, waters breaking does not mean baby is coming. So even if you're like outside, there's no need to panic. You have time, especially if this is your first baby. If it's like your second, third, fourth, not panic, but just get to a hospital as soon as, because babies do come out quicker once you've had more than one child. Number 5, I thought that if you had bleeding during pregnancy, you are having a miscarriage, and that is not actually true. It could be true. Again, I'm a student, don't take my word for Bible. But being on like the antenatal ward, there are women who come in with bleeding, and it doesn't mean they're having a miscarriage. We just need to find out what's going on. So it's not a panic. It is a panic, obviously. Get to your labor ward as soon as possible, or A&E. But I just assumed that if you bleed while you're pregnant, you're miscarrying the baby, and that's not the case, and that makes me really happy as well, actually. Number 6, I thought that breastfeeding was a quick, easy process. After the baby's born, you know, you latch them on the breast and, you know, you're done, you're ready, they're breastfeeding. And being on placement has especially taught me this, that it can be, for some women, a long process, and it's not quick and it's not easy. It's different for every woman. Some babies might need help with latching, some babies might need help with their sucking, so it can be quite long. And if it takes long, it doesn't mean that you're not meant to breastfeed. It doesn't mean that you're bad at breastfeeding. It doesn't mean that you have like breasts that aren't made for breastfeeding. It's just not a quick and easy process as everyone makes it seem. So at least the movies and TV shows and everything makes it seem it's not like that at all. So be kind to yourself, be patient if you are breastfeeding. You know, it can try different positions, ask your midwife for advice or your doctor. Yeah, it's not a quick and easy process. Number 7 is one that I heard just through the grapevine, and I just heard that if you have a lot of heartburn during pregnancy, that means that your baby will have a lot of hair. And now I realize there's actually no real scientific evidence to prove this, and a lot of women have heartburn during pregnancy, and a lot of them have babies with not a lot of hair. So I don't know where that myth came from, honestly. I don't know where it originated from, but it's one that I believed for a while, because I just thought, oh yeah, heartburn means, you know, I even thought that, you know, it means that there's acid making the baby's hair. It's ridiculous what we believe, isn't it? A lot of women experience heartburn, and that does not mean that your baby will have a lot of hair. If your baby has a lot of hair and you love that, great, but heartburn is not an indication of that. Number 8, so another myth that I believed is that I thought that morning sickness literally only happens in the morning. I thought you wake up and it's blah, blah, blah every morning for the first trimester. No, you can be nauseous and feel sick at any time of the day, night, afternoon, anytime. It can happen, it can come out. And I really want to know why we've called it morning sickness. Is it because it generally happens in the morning? But we also know that that's not true. Some people get it at all times. There's a condition, I can't even remember the name, but it's where you have literally vomiting all day, every day throughout your whole pregnancy. So, and that's like the morning sickness. So yeah, morning sickness is not a morning thing. It's an anytime it's gonna come out thing. Number 9, I thought that if you're having a C-section, it means that it's emergency, there's something wrong with the baby. And do you know what? This is because of like watching things like One Born Every Minute and that different TV shows and stuff, and you just automatically think that if someone's going in for surgery, it means that it's an emergency, there's something wrong with the baby, they need to rush you, rush. No, you can actually just choose, and this might be common sense, but I just didn't know this. You can choose to just have a C-section. I don't want to push this baby out. I would much prefer to have a C-section. Obviously, they're going to assess your situation and go through, you know, the pros and the cons, all the dangers, get your consent, all of that stuff. It's a long process, but you have that choice, at least in the UK, you have that choice to say, I want a C-section. I don't want to deliver vaginally. I didn't think that was a thing. I don't know why I didn't think that was a thing. I just thought it was an emergency all the time. But it's not, and you can have what's called an elective C-section or C-section by maternal request. So you can just ask to have a C-section. Number 10, I thought that labor gets easier with every child. And I just thought, you know, since your body's used to the pain or gone through the pain and your vagina's gone through it, or, you know, you've had a C-section, I just thought like it would get easier with every pregnancy. That is not true. The amount of women I've seen that are on like their 2nd, 3rd, 4th child, the screaming is there, the pain is still there. You know, that pain, apparently, obviously I don't know, I've never given birth, but that pain is different, and each pregnancy, it brings its own like uniqueness. So you can't compare one pregnancy to another or one labor experience to another. It can go 2 ways. So it could be easy. I'm not saying it can't be easy, For some people it may very well be, but it's not a standard thing that every labor gets easier with every new child. And I just thought that was a thing because, you know, muscle memory. But no, the pain of contractions is very much is very much, in essence, labor may or may not get easier. It doesn't automatically mean that it's gonna get easier because it's your second, third, fourth, fifth child. That's all the myths I had for you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about pregnancy, anything that you think, oh, hold on, I don't know if there's any evidence for this. Let's have a discussion. I'll see if I can, you know, debunk some myths. I'm still very fresh in this degree, so I'll see if I can help where I can. I hope you enjoyed this lighthearted video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.